Hello everyone, EB the Original Master here, and I am back again with another SpongeBob SquarePants review for you guys today. Today I'll be reviewing the new episode that came out in Israel yesterday, Furl Friends and Don't Wake Patrick. So yesterday was Sunday, August 27th, and the episode aired in Israel, meaning that it's not in English, it's in Hebrew, and that's what the language that they speak in Israel. And I'm here to review this episode for you guys. So yes, this episode has not aired in the United States. It only aired in Israel yet. And it says it's going to air in the United States in September. So we'll have to wait till September till we get an English version of this episode. And yes, I will be watching this episode again, but in English. So Squidward's Hair actually provided the link of the Israel episode, or the Hebrew version of this episode, but I am not going to include it in the description. Is because that I have been putting Google Drive links in the description lately, and apparently they have not been working lately, so I will no longer putting links to Google Drive videos ever again on my channel. Only YouTube links, website links, vice versa, not Google Drive links. So without further ado, let's review the episode. So, Furl Friends, the episode begins with Patrick the Pirate sailing the ocean. Yes, Patrick the Pirate makes a surprising return. We haven't seen him since It's a SpongeBob Christmas, so he appears in this episode with Potty the Parrot, part of the SpongeBob's fan club. If you guys don't know, Patrick the Pirate is played by Tom Kenny, the guy who voices SpongeBob, Gary, the French narrator, and a few other characters. So Patrick is actually on the ocean, and he wants to wonder what SpongeBob and the gang are doing. So he pulls out a telescope, a really long telescope, and looks underneath the ocean, and it appears that Sandy Cheeks is having a birthday party. So yes, today is Sandy's birthday, and this was actually a very first time that we ever gotten any glances of Sandy having a birthday. Yes, in the episode, a flea in her dome, that does not count because SpongeBob Patrick was throwing her a welcome back party. That doesn't mean it was her birthday. It was just a welcome back party. So, SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Mrs. Puff, and Pearl and Larry were all celebrating Sandy's birthday. They were in Jellyfish Field celebrating her birthday. And so SpongeBob gives her a birthday cake. And then Patrick then eats the entire cake. So, SpongeBob then gives Sandy another cake to make it up. And then Patrick was just about to eat that second cake, where Sandy proceeded not to give Patrick the cake. So what she does was she then karate chops the cake and then makes slices to everyone. So if you want to avoid spoilers, do not click on this video. This video will contain spoilers. The reason why I'm reviewing this episode now is because I've already seen it, and I will hate to review this episode when it airs in the United States, is because that will make no sense to do that. So if you want to avoid any spoilers of this episode, do not click on this video. Please do not. Because if you hate to be spoiled, you do not want to watch this video. So after Sandy slices the birthday cakes and makes slices out of them, when they were about to eat it, they were just about to eat the birthday cake and celebrate until they felt like this eruption. So there's like a giant eruption, and then everyone spots a volcano, and then out comes this yellowish, greenish moon, according to the synopsis of the episode. And so this moon comes from this volcano, and then everybody is admiring it, and Sandy realizes that this moon looks very weird. So it appears that this moon is not your ordinary moon. So this moon actually turns everyone in Bikini Bottom into their fertile states, meaning their wild states, or their wild form, basically. That's why this episode is called Furl Friends. If you don't know what I mean, and what I mean is that when the moon shines this beam onto the characters of Bikini Bottom, they turn into their realistic forms, meaning that they turn into a real life fish, a real life crab, a real life lobster, like you see in real life here in the earth. So basically, Sandy's the only one to stop this. So basically, everyone keeps staring at this moon. The moon turns everyone to their fertile states, which I thought that was pretty cool because we never got an episode like that before. And the characters actually do look pretty accurate. Mr. Krabs looked like a real life crab. Pearl was turned into a real life lobster. Oh, I said lobster. Oh my god, that's Larry. Don't worry, you guys. I know what the characters are, and I did not mean to say that. So Pearl was turned into a real life whale. She was like a gigantic whale. I think she was either a humpback whale or a sperm whale. She was probably a humpback whale. Mrs. Puff was turned into a pufferfish. So so while everyone got turned into these realistic animals, Squidward was the only one who wasn't turned into it yet. So Squidward came from the bathroom. He came out from the bathroom. He finds the moon, and then he starts staring at it. And then Sandy tries to tell Squidward not to look at it. So Sandy runs to save Squidward's life by shoving him into a rock to avoid getting blasted by the moon's beams. So it was too late. Squidward leaves out of the rock. He runs to chase after the moon, and then Squidward turns into a realistic octopus. So yes, Squidward is indeed an octopus. Yes, we already know that. So then Sandy then grabs everyone, and then to try to avoid getting blasted by the moon's beams. So then she then rides on Pearl, and then she then goes downtown where the moon is following her, and then the moon starts shooting beams at everybody else in Bikini Bottom, turning them into their feral states. So then Sandy goes to her tree dome, puts everyone to a giant fish tank, and to like feed them with fish food. So yes, Sandy turned her whole tree dome into like a little aquarium to make sure everybody is safe from this moon. So then Sandy asks help from the French narrator. Yes, the French narrator makes his very first appearance in person, and he's basically the Cyclops from the SpongeBob movie. So the French narrator is actually friends with Sandy, and we actually got this real life live action segment of this guy in a scuba diver's outfit, and he explains Sandy about this moon. So again, I don't know what they were saying because it was in Hebrew, so I don't understand what they were saying. So I'm guessing that he told Sandy about the volcano and how the moon came from the volcano and turned everyone into their feral states. And so Squidward actually crashed into Sandy's tree dome and like created an opening, his razor sharp teeth like created an opening, and he then sprays water all over into Sandy's tree dome. So Sandy then calls Pearl in her feral state, and then she starts riding on her while trying to avoid getting blasted by the moon and trying to avoid getting attacked by the realistic feral state Squidward. So then Sandy and Pearl comes from above the ocean where Patch the Pirate and Potty was at, and then they were all freaking out about it. And so they come out of the ocean, goes back into the ocean, and then the episode ends with a red version of the moon. So a red moon comes out of nowhere, and it turns everybody back into their normal forms, and everybody turned out to be naked. And this was the first time we ever saw Pearl and Mrs. Puff naked. We never saw them naked before until this very episode. So everybody was naked. Patrick's fat, chubby behind butt landed on Sandy's helmet, and she freaked it out. And then the episode ends where the red moon turns Sandy into a realistic feral squirrel. The moon turns Sandy into a realistic squirrel. She's in her suit or in her helmet, like trying to like get out. And then the episode ends where Patchy the Pirate and Potty were transformed into cave people from the red moon. And then Potty then flies Patchy the Pirate away, ending Feral Friends. So Feral Friends was actually a pretty good episode. It was actually a really interesting episode and a good way to end off the 10th season. I love the concept of the moon turning everyone into their realistic forms or their feral states. That was a pretty unique concept. And I actually am glad that they brought back Patchy, Potty, and the realistic live action segments, because that's what brought SpongeBob back to its roots. And in fact, to be honest, that moment, the Patchy and Potty segment reminded me of the seasons 1 through 3 SpongeBob a lot. So my overall rating for Feral Friends is a 10 out of 10. Yes, you guys, I'm finally giving this episode a 10 out of 10. It's because this episode really felt like a pre-movie episode for SpongeBob. Sorry if I'm coughing a lot. It's because I have some mucus in my throat, so I will have to be clearing out my throat in most of this review. Now it's time to review its sister episode, Don't Wake Patrick. Oh my god. So, Don't Wake Patrick is actually a 7-minute short. It's because that Furled Friends was about like 16 minutes. So, Furled Friends was actually a pretty long episode. It was like 16 minutes in length. And so, they have to squeeze in Don't Wake Patrick as a 7-minute short. So, Don't Wake Patrick really wasn't that great of an episode, you guys. It really wasn't great. So, the episode starts at night in SpongeBob's pineapple, where SpongeBob is fast asleep. And then he goes downstairs to realize that everything is in his room or his house is torn up. Then he investigates about what's happening. Did someone rob his house or something? Like, everything in his house is like torn up. Then Patrick comes downstairs from his bedroom. We haven't not gotten a transition of why or where did Patrick even came from. So Patrick is sleepwalking, and SpongeBob is the only one to stop him. So basically, SpongeBob tries to wake Patrick up from his sleepwalk. He has like a frying pan and a spoon and starts like banging on it to wake Patrick up. To be honest, this kind of sounds like Snoozy Lose a little bit, if you think about it, because in Snoozy Lose, they tried to wake Squidward up from his audition. You know what? Yeah, that's what I know. That's what I noticed. Snoozy Lose and Don't Wake Patrick has a very similar concept. But I don't know why they decided to do another sleeping-related episode, but yeah, but whatever. So yeah, then someone pulls out his alarm clock to wake Patrick up. And then Patrick then ends up doing everything wrong. So he sleepwalks, doing everything in the sleepwalk. He crashes through SpongeBob's house with a refrigerator. And then he ends up walking into incoming traffic. So SpongeBob is trying to stop Patrick from his sleepwalk. And then Patrick ends up walking into someone else's house. So Patrick ends up about to walk into this person's fine china. And then, so, yeah. Then Patrick ends up walking into a theater where he does like a performance. He starts dancing in the sleepwalk, which I thought it was alright. And then the straw that broke the camel's back is when Glove World appeared. And if you guys didn't know that, in the episode Glove World Rip, that was Glove World's last appearance. And then the writers brought it back for this episode. I mean, seriously, the Glove World never came back at nowhere in the series, and it came back as a brief cameo and Don't Wake Patrick. So technically Glove World was never closed to begin with. And then people saying, oh, this episode takes place before Glove World Rip. And I'm like, I don't care about the freaking timeline for SpongeBob. All I care is the writers with these episodes. I mean, they said Glove World's last appearance was in Glove World Rip, and then it appears randomly in, I don't know, freaking Don't Wake Patrick. So the episode ends with SpongeBob taking Patrick to bed, to his house for him to go to sleep, and then SpongeBob ends up sleeping. And guess what? SpongeBob was so tired of bringing Patrick back home from his sleepwalk, SpongeBob then falls asleep, and then he ends up sleepwalking. And then he walks into incoming traffic and gets hit by a near-coming vehicle. This episode was not funny. It was bad. I give Don't Wake Patrick a 3.5 stars out of 10. Very bad season 10 finale for the second segment, but the first segment, Furled Friends, was a lot better. So there you go, to have it. That's my review on Furled Friends and Don't Wake Patrick from SpongeBob season 10. I have officially reviewed every season 10 episode. And yeah, season 10 was actually a pretty okay season. It had a very bad season finale with Don't Wake Patrick, of course. I'm only including Don't Wake Patrick. Furled Friends was way better than that. Was way better than Don't Wake Patrick, in my opinion. So, hope you guys enjoyed my review for these episodes. Again, this episode aired in Israel. I am not including the link because, like I said, sometimes the links don't work, and I do not want for you guys to go through that, so I'm not going to include the link to the episode. You'll just have to wait for it to air in the United States or wherever country you're from. But with that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.